Hey everybody, Brian.
Nate.
Survival Midwest. Today we're out at the compound again. We're going to hit on the topic of long-term water storage.
Long-term water storage. The U.S. government says that the average daily consumption is between 80 and 100 gallons of water per day per person. Now, this
in a house.
In a house.
Okay.
This is, covering everything used, from flushing toilets, doing laundry, taking a shower, brushing teeth, anything else like that. We're mainly going to be talking about potable water storage, water for human consumption. What the amount of drinking water you should actually drink in every day is 64 ounces, otherwise known as a half gallon. Well, if you're talking for storage scenarios for, everything all included that you're going to be consuming, we recommend a gallon per day.
So 1 gallon per day per person in your household.
Yes.
What do you think we should have for a minimum of days?
I would probably suggest about 30 days minimum.
30 days minimum. So for my household, that'd be 90 gallons of water.
90 gallons
on tap at all times.
At all times.
Of potable water.
Potable, drinkable water.
All right. Well, so let's say we're going to store some water. And how do you think we should do this?
Plenty of different ways. I mean, you can see some of the stuff here in the frame of how we store it. I mean, storage all depends on what you have and how you can. I mean, if you live out in the middle of nowhere and got all kinds of space, you can have as big a tanks or whatever you want. But, for you in more of a restricted, area, different types, different sizes make it easier.
Yeah, and like if you're going to store water long-term, bleach.
That's probably about the most common way people, store the water. Originally it's going in as a, drinkable source, normally. Okay. But putting the bleach in there for the added disinfecting, and keeping everything good like that is.
And when you're talking bleach, like how much bleach would you put in a gallon of water?
How much bleach would you put in a gallon? You, on average, would put in a quarter of a teaspoon per gallon of water, or 55-gallon drums, you would put 4.5 tablespoons. Okay. Now, we're going to put a link underneath here to a North Carolina Co-op Extension Service website. Now, this has got a lot of good facts and information on bleach for water storage.
Good chart. I see there's a good chart on there that breaks it down pretty good if you want to do smaller stuff yet.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to tell you the proper techniques for applying the bleach and everything else like that. Please go to that website, read their information. Very invaluable. Print it off, keep it set away. That way you have it for any future use. So
we're talking about that's pretty long-term storage.
Yep.
I got a little model in my place. I keep stuff more short-term, and I rotate through. So at my house, I always keep a minimum of 10 of these cases of water. One of these cases is 3.1 gallons of water. Right. So right here, 10 of them, 30-day supply, one person. Right. Always have that. Yeah. Fairly easy to transport, easy to throw in the truck, ready to go.
Now, what if you didn't want to spend all the money on bottled water?
Well, you can buy a couple of these. These are about $11 or $12 a piece.
Okay.
They hold 7 gallons of water.
7 days worth.
7 days worth for one person.
One person.
And, again, easy to transport. I don't know how durable they are, just like this, a durability issue with them. These, I buy these cases of water 2 for $5. Yeah. 2 for $5. I think it's pretty reasonable. Right. So I like these.
Now, what if you didn't want to spend any money and just use what you already had?
Oh, I got the gallon milk jugs.
Okay.
I keep 30 of these in my basement at all times because I'm a softie for my dogs, and I don't allow them to drink city water with the fluoride in it. So I go to my parents' house and I fill these up with well water and I bring them back. And I keep reusing them, and there's 30 of these in my basement roughly at all times. So there's another 30-day supply for one person.
Now, part of you having all this is to be ease of transport, correct?
Yeah, I probably want to bug out. So more than likely I'm going to bug out. I'm probably going to come here, just so you know. So be ready.
And don't worry, I figured him into my plan.
So, but there's other ways too. Like I just picked up a couple other cans for water storage. A little more durable. Here's a USGI type Scepter can.
Okay.
Specifically for water. A little bit different than the fuel cans that everyone's probably normally sees.
Okay.
The fuel can handles different, spouts different, and they're clearly marked fuel and water on it. Mm-hmm. So make sure all your stuff that you're going to store water in is clearly marked potable water or non-potable water. Mm-hmm. That way, there's no doubt of what you have in each container.
I see you have another can over there.
Yeah, I picked these cans up, and they sell them for non-potable water. I think you could probably get away with potable water in them too if you clean them out good. Mm-hmm. They seal up really well, but they're real similar to like an old jerry can here. Mm. I think they make a better fuel can than a water can. The EPA disagrees with me. We might have that discussion in the future, but
We'll talk about that some other day.
yeah. So those are like the methods I use for storage. There's also, I'm considering getting like I think it's called a water bomb. It goes in your bathtub and you fill it up if you know, like if you think something's going to happen, you can fill that up and have whatever, a couple 100 gallons of water at your disposal easily there. There's also smaller bladders. There's 5-gallon bladders you can have. You know, there's all different types of safe ways to store water easily and efficiently around your house.
Well, you know, that's how Brian does it. I do things a little differently here. I'm set for more of a bug-in status. You know, I'm prepared for, you know, a lot of things going on here. This is probably about one of my most portable containers here. Holds about 15 gallons. This is originally used for some kind of food product. I painted it over. Normally what I kind of do with this is I fill it up, leave it out in the sun all day, warms up, so that way in the evening you can wash up, shower up, you know. Potable, non-potable, you know, depends what it is. You do need to make sure though, if you're going to use any kind of storage container, it is designed for food grade materials. Don't go find some plastic container that held some, you know, acid or something.
Antifreeze, it could have been anything.
Could have been anything. You know, make sure whatever you're going to use it for is, you know, designed for food type.
And
you know,
there are places that will sell you, like companies will sell you these that are food grade.
Yes.
There's actually places that specifically sell containers that are food grade or non-food grade, and you go there and buy what you need.
Yeah.
But a lot of businesses will also sell you these maybe for $12 or something.
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember, you know, I'm constantly buying this, buying that. Here's two different types of 55-gallon drums that I keep around here. We have a local vendor in here that gets like syrups and other flavorings and stuff in there. You know, normally they just have to throw them out anyway, so they sell them to people, you know, if you're in the know. You know, this style is a sealed type, you know, basically has two bungs on the top, you know, great for putting water in, other kinds of liquid in there, you know, works good from that standpoint. There's another vendor that I was able to get some of these from here, and these have a removable top and a band. You know, there's a seal on top, it's got the different bungs. Right now I'm using it to hold my corn storage for animals and whatnot like that, but basically, you know, you could put anything you want in there. Originally it did have a food type product in there, I can't remember what it was, but I wouldn't hesitate storing water in here if you were not moving it.
Yeah, this could fall out of the back of your pickup truck. It's going to take that abuse. The lid might pop off. The chances are a little better.
Chances are great. But you know, it all depends on what you want to do. They sell other storage containers that are just enormous. I mean, hundreds and hundreds of gallons.
Hundreds of gallons.
You know, it all depends on how much space you have and, you know, how you treat it, store it, and everything else like that. I also keep another storage setup in the basement of my house. I think we're going to take you guys inside. I'm going to show everyone what I do for our basic, you know, water storage.
Let me ask you a question on the drums real quick, because I'm probably going to add a few of these to my house.
Yeah.
You know, in my garage for maybe if I don't bug out right away, just a little longer term storage stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I picked up these siphons.
Siphons.
Is that what you'd use to get the water out of them?
That's exactly what I use for
Okay,
water.
because that's what I figured, because trying to pour this would probably be difficult at best.
It'd be difficult, be messy, and you'd lose a lot.
Yeah, so this siphon, put it in the water, can down below you want to fill, shake it, about 3.5 gallons a minute flow. They're like $7.
How do you get the gasoline taste out of that?
Well, you just get used to it. And I'm kidding.
Oh.
You buy a second one because they are so cheap, and you clearly mark them so you know which one's for your potable water and which one's for everything else. So keep that in mind, just like your containers. Clean them out with bleach beforehand, even if you know it's a food grade product or brand new. Like this one's brand new. I'm gonna clean this out with a bleach solution when I get home because I don't trust those people at the factory. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna take a couple minutes. I'm gonna wash it out and make sure it's clean. Mm-hmm. So do that with all your containers.
We'll go into other types of water purification and everything else in later videos.
And water collection.
Water collection, you know, I mean...
alternative means besides just a well or tap water.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's other larger containers that I know are used for downspout water collection.
Yeah.
We'll do a video on that. I know someone that has a really nice setup.
I mean, if you had a body of water near your house, you might be able to get some water from there and store it,
Yep.
purify and store it. So, but that, again, that's another video, so we'll get into that later. I think we're going to go inside and look at your unique setup you use for water storage.
Yes.
So, want to do it?
Yep.
All right, let's go. All right, so we're down in the basement. We're going to check out your water storage that you have.
Yeah. If you look at this tank, anyone who lives at the well knows what this tank is. This is a pressure tank.
but this isn't my pressure tank, and I don't use it like a pressure tank. I use it as an inline storage reservoir. Basically, I have water comes in, water goes out, no air, constantly revolving supply, about 50-55 gallons there. You know, put just a regular hose bib on the bottom here. You know, there's water, perfectly drinkable. You know, what I do is everything else in there. I can, even if I lose pressure, lose power, I can undo fittings so air can get in there, and therefore it'll fill up. You know, so I don't have to worry about treating my water. I don't have to worry about anything else like that. And you know, with only 2 people, you know, this is about my 3rd day supply right here. Everything else is good like that. So.
What do you got behind you there?
Alright, well, I don't know if this ain't meant for human eyes here, but basically I have a whole lot of water heating and storage set up behind me here. I heat my water with solar panels I have on the roof. That's some of the stuff here. I also heat my home and my water with an outdoor wood burner. Behind me here is a 120-gallon hot water storage tank. No heating elements, but basically plumbed in there with circulation pumps and everything else in order to heat up water. Behind that's a 50-gallon, you know, regular hot water heater. Electric thing never runs, you know, but it's just good to have it as a backup there. But if you figure my regular pressure tank, you know, 40-some gallons, you know, this tank, let's just say 50 gallons, it's 90. 120 gallons here, that's 210 plus 50, you know, that's 260 gallons worth of water I have sitting inside the house, not including everything else in the pipes and everything else. You know, in a later video I'll go over how all this stuff is working down here, you know, but right now it's a little too much information to go through.
So you have 260 gallons of constantly revolving water storage.
Yes.
Right.
You know, we hope this was informative to some of you guys. I know I've had people ask about the storage tank when they talk about water storage. You know, you could do this even if you were in like an apartment type setup, as long as you had enough space to put another tank and just do it in line. I find this is the easiest thing for me here, and I would highly recommend it to anyone else that could fit the space and to put there. I mean,
What's a pressure tank like that cost?
now you're going to put me on the spot because I wouldn't even know with today's modern steel prices and everything else.
So you could look it up online and
Look it up online, look up, you know, pressure tank, well tank, you know, whatever else you want to call it. Most home repair stores, you know, Home Depot, Lowe's, anything else would have something like this. It's just very simple. You're just running it in line with everything else inside the house. So we hope this is informative. Stay tuned for other videos. We'll go and do water treatment, you know, water heating, and everything else water related for you. So.